Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm the Retro Game Artist, and here's a tutorial on how to draw and paint a Game Boy. First, start with some rough lines. Just you don't have to be precise. I like to just um, make as simple shapes as possible. The Game Boy is a very simple rectangular shape, but it does have a lot of details. Um, I like to go pretty lightly with pencil. I do tend to over detail stuff, but there's that iconic six girls and that rounded corner that I keep talking about. And the D-pad is actually textured, and you want to get that texture, and it'll show up pretty nicely even with a simple shade. Here's my second favorite part, which is inking it, and this is more, I guess, like a comic book illustration type. And I like the dark lines because it's a lot easier to do with pen than with a brush. Um, yeah, I'm working. The speed is at double speed, so I'm cutting out a lot of like pauses and hesitation between my strokes. Yeah, don't get your mind getting that gutter. Yep, here's that power button. The important thing about drawing a Game Boy is making it dimensionally looking. I mean, it is a rectangle, but it does have a lot of soft curves where the light bounces off, and there's a lot of areas for highlights and subtle curves. Um, oh, my cat knocked the tripod over. I like including those details because we're used to OCA laminated panels like our phones and um, Ambernix and the Miu Mini Plus, but Game Boy, the screen cover actually sits pretty far, like about a quarter of an inch from the actual display, and that is a feeling that's very retro. It's only within the past couple of years, really, where the retro handhelds have come with fully OCA laminated screens. Oh, there's my favorite part, which was erasing the pencil lines. And I'd like to go over some details that I might have missed. When watercolor painting, it's important to keep where the light is coming from. And I made it real easy for myself, and the light is coming from the top, which means that the top of the Game Boy is the darkest area, or the bottom of the Game Boy is the darkest area, but it's not seen, so I added some shadows. And I'm adding some shadows to areas that's going to be dark. It's a good way to differentiate between those little nooks and crannies. And I'm not being super detailed with it. I'm just giving the impression of depth and dimension. And it's also good to have a reference. I mean, I did have an actual Game Boy just sitting on the side, and I wanted to be as simple as possible. And yeah, so that side is going to be the darkest. And for any watercolor painting, you just stick with one color and give it about 3 values, the darkest, lightest, and then somewhere in the middle. And you can do a lot